Hey everybody, welcome to Vibes and Stuff. It's your main man, the number one chief rocker, Uncle Freezy. And we are going to rock a little bit. I have a subject out here. I think it's going to be Mo Fire, Mo Fire, Mo Fire. Where's my camera at? Why does my camera look funny? My camera looks odd. So the title for today's joint is How Does Music Impact Your Life? How does music impact your life? Before I get started, I want to play a track by one of our brothers, DSJ.
Yeah. Yeah. Shorty, let me holler at you. Girl, it's the way you walk, command attention. It's all about your vibe, your true intention. I call you good God. You're misunderstood, cause you're from the hood. From first eye contact, I knew I had to have that. Had a feeling you were something special. Didn't know if I could match that. You draw a crowd just to say hi. You make it happen, you stay fly. You big and everyone know. If I was a stock, you would raise mine. Even with a t-shirt and sweats on. Girl, you work it for me. Don't matter what they say about you. Baby, you're perfect. Girl, it's the way you walk, command attention. It's all about your vibe, your true intention. I call you good God. You're misunderstood, cause you're from the hood. That Dominican girl, East African queen, call you my cinnamon girl. Sweet like grandma Copper, you are a number one prospect. Even if you're raised in the projects, and you got the whole game on lock. Cops and robbers, they'll build an altar, you're so bomb. You shoot them down so calm. You don't be playing no games, but sexy in jerseys you throw on. I'm your soldier, I will march in line. You know it's your world. Let me hit you with that more in line. You go, girl, it's the way you walk, command attention. It's all about your vibe, your true intention. I call you good God. You're misunderstood, cause you're from the hood.
They say beauty is in the eye of the beholder. Well, I would love to be the one that holds you, console you in times of grief, and listen when you're trying to speak. Your smile, it brightens up the darkest moods, and looking in your eyes is like gazing at the stars and moon. Just thinking about you, damn, I can hardly move. The depths of my feelings are hard to convey, like trying to catch fish at the edge of a bay, like I'm caught in an infinite wave, cause even when you do the simplest things,
Yo, that was Hood Goddess by one of my favorite up-and-coming R&B artists, DSJ. And as a matter of fact, here is the man right here.
Yeah.
Gentlemen, put them drinks down and get on your feet. Put your hands together for the R&B sensation, DSJ. Ladies and gentlemen, DSJ. Gentlemen, how are y'all today?
Man, I'm great. I'm great. How you doing?
Man, fantastic, bro. Fantastic, man. It's good to be with y'all this evening, man.
Man, it's good being here.
Appreciate it. Salute to everybody in the panel. Salute to Uncle Freezy and Chuck, the original
salute.
The original Vibesters, and salute to everybody, of course, in the chat.
Bro, I feel like I'm in such good company that I'm underdressed. I feel like I need to go put an adult shirt on or something. Now that you guys are here.
Well, I think DSJ as an artist is whack. I don't like his music. I don't like his haircut. I don't like his sneaker collection.
Wait, does he have a haircut like Anita Baker?
No.
Said to myself, I'll take her. Is that what you? Is that what you?
Nah, he like to do the whole fade thing like Nas. Like, what's wrong with you? Like, man, you grow that thing out like Jimmy Butler. What's wrong with you, man?
Yeah, what's going on? What's going on with him, man? I don't know. Maybe he's in one of those funks. But let me say this, bro. Just really quick. I listened to Hood Goddess in the car. Oh my. That's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah.
How many people told you to turn that crap off?
No. There is a young rapper out now, young something. I forget his name. Young something. And then there's another artist out named something Tekka or something. Are you familiar with those? Anyway, the Hood Goddess vibe gives you that vibe. Not that artist is comparable, but the music may be in that type of lane where it's the perfect combination. And this song specifically is what I'm talking about. This song is the perfect combination of slight grittiness and the production part of it, and the content being super relatable, and the singing is dope, and the part at the end like ties it all together, man. I think man, listen, Hood Goddess to me is classic material in my eyes, but I told you that before, man. But so there's that. So, Chuck, how you doing, brother?
I'm great. I'm a co-sign what you said about Hood Goddess. The first time I heard it, I just heard it through my phone. I was like, all right, this is cool.
Right.
I played it through my studio speakers.
Right.
I immediately got on the phone and called this guy. I was like, bro.
Right.
Bro, this is fire. We got to play this in the joint.
Yeah.
This is crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. Shout out to DSJ.
That's the joint right there. It's a whole vibe unto itself. You know what I mean?
Facts.
So yeah, man. Yeah, man. So DSJ, what's the word, brother?
The word is work. Yeah, that's all I do. I just work. Whether it's my regular 9 to 5 thing, or when I have time to go to the studio, I just want to make sure I put in the work, make sure that everything I do is quality. Um,
Right.
because as much as I love the adulation that y'all give with Hood Goddess, I have my father's work ethic. Like that's on to the next. Like I want to make sure that everything I do from this point on is the same level of quality.
Right. 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 I want to get into other projects, but I want to introduce this topic first and get you guys' personal opinion on some things. Um, how does music impact you guys' lives? Like how does what does let me ask this question first. I'll ask a lead-in question. What does music mean to you?
Well, for me, it's 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 a layered question because for one, music has been the catalyst to my existence in the manner of speaking, right? So I'm honestly like my earliest memories, and I mean that very um I mean that very blatantly, has been singing. Um, there's not an aspect of my life where music doesn't have an effect or doesn't have a hold. From the moment I wake up, I gotta hear this joint when I jump in the shower. Um, the matter of grooming. When I'm cleaning, like music is just all around. Um, it's a soundtrack to specific points in my life that are significant. And then as an artist or an aspiring artist, um, I try to convey that into my material.
Okay.
And so the feelings that I had as a child, and even right now into my current adulthood, um, those feelings that are conveyed with good music, I try to convey that within my material, so that way that can have the same impact going forward.
Okay. Okay. Hey, so Chuck, you have a response?
Um, Music, it's an individual thing. Um, so I have to speak for myself. Music, I feel in a lot of ways the same way as DSJ. Like music has been the backdrop to my life. Music has been inspiring at times, um, motivating at times, healing at times. Um, and music has been a bad influence at times.
Okay.
Um, but I've had more good memories attached to music than bad ones for sure.
Okay.
Um, but music, we know is a universal language. I don't have to speak your language to feel and understand your music. So I feel like music is one of those keys of life. You might not like the same type of music, but music definitely plays a part, I think, in everyone's life.
Okay. Okay. I guess I'll answer. Too. Um, Music has been a part of my life from day one, right? Like music to me has been love, right? Like it was first expressed to me through it was expressed to me from a loved one to me, right? And what I mean by that is I don't remember this happening, but I feel like it has happened, right? Like I felt like I remember like being with my mother and my grandmothers and them humming music around me, right? And it being an expression of love, right? Like I can't remember exactly the song when I was younger, but as I was a shorty, I remember this song by the Emotions called Best of My Love. I remember my mom listening to that on WBLS over the radio. And we in there, and so my family is down south. I mean, from down south, but we're in Jersey City. And so my family had, even though they were living in the city, you know, they still had the southern sensibility. So we in the kitchen. I think they cooking grits and eggs and some kind of pork because we from down south, right? So it's some kind of pork. It's gonna be sausage. It's gonna be bacon. It's gonna be hash. It's gonna be something. Eggs. And I remember being in the kitchen, and a whole bunch of women are in the kitchen, right? And I just remember them singing, "Whoa, whoa, you got the best of my love, whoa, whoa." And I'm not a singer like that, right? But I just remember them, and I was looking like amazed, and so I related music with love. You know what I'm saying? And we all know love comes in all different forms, right? But in that setting, music came across to me like if you love something, music goes along with it. And in those early pre-adolescent, like really young, shorty moments, I might have been like 8 or 9 years old, but watching your people and they like, singing songs about love. Like another example is I never forget. I got to the age where I felt like I could start being independent, and the Spinners had a song. They did a remake, a song called Cupid, right? And for everybody watching, not the 112 Cupid, not the Cupid, not that. I'm too old for. I'm not too old, but the Cupid I'm talking about is the Spinners singing Cupid, draw back your bow and let your arrow go straight to a lover's heart for me. And then I'm hearing the dude get into oh, and I'm like, oh my God, bro. When I get to school, I'm gonna just talk to Short. I'm gonna be like, hey girl, you know what I'm saying? Cupid, Cupid pulled back a arrow with your name on it, and it went straight to my heart. This is like the early days. This is like 1980, something like that. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm equating music to everything, right? I'm watching sports. I see them do the Star Spangled Banner before the game, and when they win and when a team wins the championship, and mind you, I'm young at the time, right? When they win the championship, right? All I hear is something like something anyway, and you know what I'm saying? And basically they doing "We Will Rock You" or whatever. You know what I'm saying? So music, to me, even when I first got to, even before I got to school age, before I even got to school age, I remember my grandmother trying to teach me the alphabet. And she sang a song called Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star, right? Twinkle, twinkle, little star. I wonder when it shines so bright. And so when you little, you know Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star. But then when they teach you the alphabet, they sing the same melody, and you don't know that you're singing Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star because you're being taught A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, summer number, summer number, summer number, for those that don't remember the alphabet or whatever. Right.
Right.
And so at an early age, for me, there was an early attachment to music, which made me love it. Right. Do y'all have similar experiences? Or is that just isolated to background?
Nah, absolutely. I definitely can attest to that, especially the Twinkle Twinkle Little Star ABCs. I mean, that is how powerful music is.
Right.
Till this day, there are full grown adults older than both of us,
Right.
that if you ask them to say their ABCs, they would say them that way. A
Right.
B C D E F G. You be like, wait. But yeah.
Yeah. You're right. You're right. You're right. DSJ, you can't even take the elevator, bro, without it.
Right, right. I mean, even to the point as you were saying, um, it can be the ultimate therapist,
Right.
right? I mean, think about all the bad instances in your life, um, where putting on a radio or an album can be the soothing factor.
Right.
For women after a breakup, Mary J. Blige is their therapist.
Right.
Um, and personally, right? Music can be the battery in your back.
Oh, music can be a
So,
motivator.
so when I think about me as a shorty, um, the pretty girl in school that you're scared to talk to, two songs come to mind that are so relatable and also give you the confidence to overcome this.
Right.
One of them being Mint Conditions, Pretty Brown Eyes.
Right.
The other one is Jodeci's Come and Talk to Me.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say the song by Troop. All I do is think of you. I thought that's what you're gonna.
That's another one. But I'll be honest. At that point, when Troop dropped that, um, I think there was a level of confidence to talk to women anyway, or to talk to girls anyway.
Right. Right.
So I wasn't phased by that until sixth grade, and it was like, okay, because at some point you just feel like, hey, I'm cute enough to talk to this girl,
Right.
and she thinks I'm cute, so I'm good money. Like
Right.
I can go to anybody
Right.
until you see that one. It's like, man, she is mind-blowingly gorgeous,
Right.
and my tongue is numb. I'm sweaty. I feel like the opening line to Lose Yourself.
Right. Right.
I don't know what to say to convey this person's attention. And Mint Condition expressed exactly how I felt. Jodeci expressed exactly how I felt. And yeah, to that degree, Troop
Yeah.
expressed exactly how I felt. Like, man, I hate school. I don't want to be in school.
Right.
Get rid of homework, ban it for life.
Right.
But if this is the only opportunity I get to run into Shorty,
Right.
I will be there early.
Right. Because the opening lyric, Chuck. If I'm right, the opening lyric is I can't wait to get to school each day so that you can pass my way, and bells start to ring, and my heart starts to say, "Hey, that's the girl for you. Now, what are you gonna do?" You know what I'm saying? I think that's how it go. Now, maybe it's just my imagination running away with me, but I think that's how that song starts, right?
I think so.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. So because I initially want to get right down to it. I wanted to start at the mountaintop and work my way backwards with the question, like how does music impact your life? But then when I thought about it, we can't just start there. I think we have to do inroads, right?
hmm
Because I think we use music for motivation, like when you're at the gym,
hmm
or you wanted to do it to overcome an obstacle, or all the different levels of romance, like the introduction to a romantic relationship, the take your romantic relationship to the next level, the the songs that get you to the point where you bump uglies and do the hibbity jibbity, you know what I'm
hmm
saying? Or the songs that talk about y'all not getting along, and the songs that y'all break up, the songs about getting back together, the songs about staying together. You know what I'm saying? So there are so many different inroads, like when it comes to music and things of that sort, where you're um so many things to think about. DSJ, let me ask you this: how important is music to you daily? Do you think you can go a day without music, a few days without music, a week without music, a month without music?
I can't get through a shift of my job without music.
Right.
Music is such a, and again, it feels like there's catalytic reasoning behind music.
Okay.
Um, it can be a great motivator. Again, as you said, when you're in the gym working out, yeah, I mean, you know the rhythm of how to do something, but something about that musical backdrop, you could play, um, like for me, like till I collapse is one of my favorite songs when when I'm on a treadmill or something like that.
Okay.
Um, Don't Sweat the Technique is like one of my favorite, and I want to attribute that to just that bass line is crazy.
Right.
But it used to be one of the things that used to get me through basketball practice.
Right.
So they would have that blurring in the gym and stuff like that. Um, in terms of like just my regular, like you can't even commute to any place without having the radio on
Right.
or having your favorite album or an album you just bought. Let me just check this out real quick. Um, so yeah, I don't think there's a moment that exists where music isn't involved outside of maybe sleep.
Right.
I can't
Wait.
even. I'll be honest. I can't even get in the shower without having something playing in
Right.
the background. You know, what I'm saying that's just how much music is a, you know,
Well,
what I'm saying has a
sweet
major
dreams are
hold.
made of these.
Yeah, that's what they
When it
say.
comes to sleep, bro. But Chuck, let me ask you this: does music set your mood, or does your mood require music like a soundtrack?
Um, I'm gonna say it depends.
Okay.
Um, if I'm trying, like if I know I'm
I'll be right
having
back.
Okay.
company over, female company over, then I'm setting the mood with a certain playlist, right?
Okay.
At first it may be something very vibey, some Maxwell Ascensions or something something, you know, something to that,
Some neo soul.
some neo soul, right?
Okay. Okay.
Um, if if I want things to go to the next level, then yes, the music is going to change.
Okay.
It's going to be something a little more intimate. Um, maybe some Joe,
Okay.
you know, maybe a little bit of Drew Hill or something like that.
Okay.
If like in the mornings, like when I'm getting up and I'm getting ready for the day, everything is upbeat. When I'm getting dressed to upbeat music.
Right.
Um, Music that makes you want to. It's dance music, but it makes you want to move.
Right.
Can't sit still
Right.
because I need that extra energy. That extra
So
push.
it does set the mood in some cases.
It does definitely set the mood in some
Okay.
cases. And in some cases, yo man, I'm just going through something and I need something to speak to me. Um, um, I need to hear that Al Green for the good times.
Yep. Yep.
I, I,
Yep.
I have to. I gotta hear that.
Right.
I gotta hear. You got me going in circles.
Right.
Um, um, or and it takes a fool to learn that
Right.
love and don't love. Like I need to hear those consecutively because I'm dealing with something
Right.
with a woman that's. I need my music now to speak to me. So
Right.
in that case, yes, my mood will dictate the type of music I'm listening to. Or if I'm up to, I'll leave that alone. But yeah, yeah.
Okay, let me since we said mood, how much inspirational music do you listen to, and what type of inspirational music do you need? Do you need, or does all types of, or let me preface with this, right? All right, so away from you guys, and away from the Uncle Freezy person, you know what I'm saying? When I'm um say alone at times, or if I'm into like a mental funk, right? If I'm just like, and not depression, not a depression state, but I'm talking about a funk. You know how you're vexed by something and you can't figure it out,
Yes, sir.
right? And not that it's a life distorting issue. It may just be something, right? There's a song from The Color Purple that I like to listen to when the preacher daughter is singing that song "Speak Lord, Speak to Me." You like, "Speak Lord, speak to me." You know, something something. And I don't know it. DSJ, you know the name of that song?
Unfortunately, I don't remember it. As many times as I've seen The Color Purple, I really
I'm
don't
gonna I'm
remember
gonna
it.
ask I'm gonna ask Mo. Mo know everything. Let me.
Hey Chuck, I wanted to ask this of you. Because of the fact as a producer, right?
Right.
Now when you create, um, do you create from a sense of mood or do you create from a sense of um just sound? Like this sounds good together.
Um, it depends. It depends. Like if I'm in a mood, if I'm in the mood, then that's how the music is gonna come out. You can tell exactly what mood I am, how the song is grooving, right?
Yeah.
But when it comes to just sounds, sometimes that's how you get a that's how you get some momentum going. Just playing around with some sounds and then like, oh wow, that sounds good with that. Okay, let's see where this goes. Um,
Thank you.
if I go in with an intent to do something, like okay, I want um a reggae rock. Okay, so that's the mood I'm in, reggae. So every sound that I pull up is going to reflect that because that's the mood I'm in and that's what I'm trying to convey.
Okay. Is it hard as a producer when an artist hears something differently from what you were trying to convey, or has it even been a situation where you might have heard something and the artist hears something else?
Oh, absolutely. That's happened more times than I can
I
count.
think that's frequent. I think that's frequent, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. That happens. That happens a lot. Um, it's no different than two people being in the same place, experiencing the same thing, but having two different points of view of what happened.
Right.
It don't make the other person wrong. It's just this is what I saw in the moments that this thing occurred. So yeah,
Perspective. It's perspective.
the perspective, absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah. Just so for the record, the song is maybe God's trying to tell you something.
Oh yeah, that's it.
Yeah, DSJ, you ever heard that song? Maybe God is trying to tell you something. That's the song that you know what I'm saying that'll get to me, and that's why I was speaking to the inspirational thing. But since we're talking about production, I wanna continue on. DSA, that was a great question. I was listening when you asked.
Oh, thank you, thank you.
Um,
Now, and again, I feel like because again, from experience, um, as a again as a singer and a songwriter, a beat for me dictates exactly where I'm going to take the melody, right? It determines what the topic of conversation is going to be, and sometimes again, as production hears something completely different. You know, I might hear as a lustful rendezvous might be heard as heartbreak from the production's ear, and um, what might come off as a case of overcoming and triumph over an obstacle might lend to me as somber and melancholy.
can you give an example?
Um, sure. As a matter of fact, "Part Time Lover" from Stevie Wonder. The beat is so upbeat and melodically, it's so catchy that you find yourself singing it. But let's say morally, you feel like what a compromise because I don't believe in cheating or I don't believe in secondary romances or infidelity. But I love Part Time Lover.
Right. Okay.
Again, now he creates all this on his own, and of course, if you're listening to his standards from what he speaks about, infidelity is not is not his is
Yeah.
not something he practices.
Right. Because he had the
But
song "All I Do." Oh,
right, even the way that starts off, like how is that like how crazy that it has such a dark bass line.
right. Right.
It feels like this could be a song about heartbreak,
Right.
or this could be a downtrodden situation. But when he sings about how his soul is on fire and that you're his one true, I didn't get that from the production.
No. No. Absolutely. Absolutely not. Absolutely not.
Boys to Men, End of the Road. Um, it can confuse you because melodically it can come off like another "I'll Make Love to You" until you
Yeah.
hear the lyrics. We belong. I mean, even the way it starts off, "We belong together," and you know I'm right. Oh, it's gonna be one of those joints. So you
Right.
thinking "End of the Road"? He's talking the end of the road of the single life,
Right.
and then here comes the rest of the lyrics, and it's like, oh no,
Oh,
that's not what that means.
that's not quite what I expected.
I'm flabbergasted.
Right. Right.
So yeah, there's so many references like that. And then again, there's some songs that just like I said that just strike the beat strikes and it's like that is that is so impactful. One of
Is
my
it?
favorites is
Is it? Oh, I'm sorry.
no, yeah, one of my favorites is Inner City Blues, Marvin Gaye.
Oh,
When that bass line hits, and then and he sings them, it's like the perfect marriage. Like I can't believe. And sometimes for me, and I'll speak for myself under those circumstances, right? There are times when I'll get jealous that I wasn't crafty enough to come up with something like that.
yeah, man. Oh my. Um, I'm not even gonna lie to you. When you talk about Marvin Gaye, I have Marvin Gaye in such high esteem, bro. Because as a little kid, watching my uncles and them listen to Joe Tex and Jackie Wilson, you know what I'm saying? And see, I idolized my uncles. Man, most of my uncles anyway were tall, like 6'3", 6'4", and they had money and they were handsome and good looking and they were cool. They had nicknames like Bad Boy and you know what I'm saying? Like I have a real life uncle named Bad Boy. That's what we call him, right? And so they used to listen to like Joe Tex and Jackie Wilson, and I used to hear them talk about Jackie Wilson like, man, that Joker could, they use different words than I use, right? But they were like, that Joker was cool, boy. And then I would watch Jackie Wilson. I saw that man in the middle of a dance stop and comb his hair to make sure his hair was intact as he was singing to the ladies. And the lady just, she couldn't help herself. She was trying to grab Jackie, but she couldn't because her body just gave way to his singing. Like imagine a woman is trying to grab a man, but he is so smooth with the voice that her body just won't let her soul do what it wants to do, right? And so when you see that, you like, I'm gonna be Jackie Wilson, man, when I grow up. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna be Jackie Wilson when I get to. Yeah, I remember telling myself when I get to second grade, I'm gonna be Jackie Wilson, right? Second grade, boss. I'm 6 years old, talking about being Jackie Wilson when I get to second grade, man. And then, but I said that to say this though: when you bring up Marvin Gaye, to me there was a torch passed in my personal life. I know Jackie Wilson and Marvin Gaye existed at the same time, right? They were not on the same timeline, but they existed around the same time, right? Man, when you say inner city blues to me, bro, when I hear Trouble Man, bro, it just make me just bro. Some songs just make when you hear them for the first time, they put you in a place and then but when you hear it, listen to it over the years, you get deeper and deeper and deeper into the music. And we'll see one of my pledges this year is to buy a record player and buy the Trouble Man soundtrack and just listen to it on the record player. Like people listen to it when that song first came out, just so that I could get the real vibes of it, right? Because when you listen to it streamed, it's perfect, bro. It's the production is perfect, right?
Right.
But when you talk about listening to it on a record player, going back in time, oh man. Hmm.
Absolutely. You get that raw. A record captures that raw sound. That's why a lot of audio files or audio enthusiasts they prefer record players, you
Right.
know, and they can get pretty pricey, but
Yeah. Yeah.
the sound quality is unmatched. It makes you feel like you were there in the recording. So yeah, Unc is definitely on to something with that for sure. But
So
continue.
so Chuck, how do you feel about Marvin Gaye's? Marvin Gaye's. Yeah, I think DSJ said he's got a favorite Marvin Gaye song. I mentioned one. Is there one that strikes you the same?
Mm. I've always been partial to the Marvin Gaye and Tammy Terrell collaborations.
Wow.
Um, I'm pretty sure if I thought about it, I could think of more um, male female duo combinations, like singing duets
Right.
that could probably rival. But I thought they were probably like the best when they work together for sure. Um, Marvin Gaye, Marvin Gaye was a different type of genius, man.
Right. 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 Right.
I seen some old footage of him laying on the couch singing. I was like, how?
How?
How do you sound that good?
Right.
Just like laying on your back with your arm over your forehead, and you're you sound incredible, sir.
Right. Right.
Um, to think how maybe he was what like 16 or younger when he
Yeah, I
started.
was gonna say. I think I saw that. I think I saw that. And he was coming off being the drummer for somebody, and they had him. He had the old Muhammad Ali type fro, the flat and on top and round and round.
Yeah,
I think I remember seeing that. I think I remember seeing that. He couldn't have been no more than 17, 16, 17. But
yeah.
man,
He was different. Him, Stevie, those guys to be that young and to create the records that they created is insane. Um,
prodigies.
absolutely, absolutely, and I think that's why they're revered to this day for not only being prodigies but the quality of music that they were able to deliver over time.
Right.
Um, uh, Having a record like "What's Going On,"
Oh,
timeless.
yeah.
How many movies have you heard that in the backdrop of a serious scene or a flashback to something like it's just one of those records that encapsulated uh, uh, a time that hasn't yet passed,
Right.
but it's not.
The essence of it, I think. I think the essence of it keeps you in the moment, right? But
Yes, sir.
DSA, I'll give you an example. I'll give DSA an example, right? So when you hear "Let's Get It On," right? Or if you hear when you hear "What's Going On," or when you hear the Trouble Man soundtrack, right? Or even when you hear Willie Hutch, you know what I'm saying? When you hear um um Curtis Mayfield, right? When you hear a lot of the singers from that era, you know what? I'll even say Superman Lover. When you hear Superman Lover, the original, right? Just that era, right? It kind of keeps you in that enjoyable space. Whereas music that may have sold 10 times more copies, like a Ja Rule album, a Ja Rule single. You hear that, you like, I remember that song, but it don't take you nowhere, right? Every other thing that you do, and you're like, okay, yeah, I remember that song. What year was that, right? But when you hear um what's going on, you automatically know, like, oh my goodness, it just takes you back. It's like you're time traveling, and not in a bad way either, because it's relatable. Like when you listen to it, you're like, oh my, what's going on? DSJ, am I
No,
out of touch on that one? Is that just me? Am I over romanticizing something?
no,
Or
I think that is honestly the difference in terms of quality of music, where as we refer to a lot of the classics, we call it timeless music
okay,
because the era changes, but the impact doesn't.
okay,
Um,
okay,
there are songs out today that you'll forget about tomorrow, and I mean that in a literal sense.
right,
And then there are some songs that will live on through the annals of time.
right,
The where were you moments when
right,
this song came on.
right,
The
right.
songs that people dissect and study
Yeah,
in a very literal sense.
right.
And songs like those existed way too often to the point where I don't think an artist recognizes when he's making timeless music. I don't know if Marvin Gaye looked back on his Let's Get It On album, his Saturday Night Uptown Saturday Night album, the I Want You album. Um the you know, I don't think he's looked at any of those and said, yeah, this is one of those ones. Like I think he just kind of was like, I'm just creating. Like I'm just doing what I do.
Really?
I don't think I, especially listening to old interviews. I think he was cognizant of making good music. I don't think he realized how timeless and how iconic they were.
Okay, so with that said, like when Stevie Wonder, like, because I have All I Do playing in my ear right now, right? And what I'm thinking is, when Stevie made this, he had to be thinking this was going to be an all time classic. Do you think
No,
about
I'll be
me?
honest. No artist that I've ever heard ever went in there and knew that he was creating a classic
Okay,
or a timeless joint.
okay,
Every artist that I've encountered, every artist that I've been in a studio session with, every artist that I've idolized and listened to might have said that the night would have been special, that the feeling was special, that even the music that they were creating felt special.
okay.
But everybody, and I mean from major label recording artists to legends, have the same exact epiphany after creating something that
Okay.
others deem as ultimately timeless. I might have thought it was going to do something. I never thought it would be like this.
Okay. Let me ask you this based on what you said just now. What motivates a listener to go from a listener to an artist?
Um, I think it has to be within you already. Um, I think that um, and pardon me if nobody is in that realm of spirituality or anything like that, but I feel like again it's ordained.
Okay.
When somebody is an artist, it's already within their destiny to become that. How long it takes to get there is a different story, but I think overall that it's already within you to become that. So, yeah, I honestly couldn't tell you for sure, like what inspires them
Right.
to fulfill that, but I think that it's already kind of written in the stars for them to become it.
Okay. Chuck, you feel the same?
Um, I, I believe that you can have a talent, but not necessarily have the star power to become or enough of a presence to be a big star. But when it comes to making music, uh, artistry is like what DSJ says. So I'm going to agree. Like it's got to be in you because I'm sure you've encountered people with voices or rap flows and things that you're like, yo, man, you should be on the radio. You should be making records, but they don't have that. I don't want to say ethic, but that might be the word.
Okay.
Or they don't have that creative ethic.
Okay.
Um, because they're the artists that usually step out and become famous in their lane from early. From early, they've been positioning themselves to become the person that they eventually will become. Like you say you want to be a star, you want to be a star singer or rapper. How many how many talent shows you been in?
Right.
How many mixtapes have you passed out? Not trying to sell at the gas station, but how many have you passed out? Where do you perform? Because that's a big part of becoming an artist, being able to perform. Because there are tons of people that can sing, but you don't want to pay $5 to go see them perform. It's a snooze fest.
Right.
Like, yeah, they can sing, but I could have listened to iTunes for this.
Right.
I'm already paying $14 a month, so I might as well. You know what I mean?
Right.
So I
Right.
think I think when it becomes an art like that's something that's a part of you. When you talk to someone like that, like even when like I was talking with DSJ a while ago, and we were talking about a track, and then the detail in which he went into the record, and how he wants it to sound, how he
Right.
envisions in performing it, and then like yo, this is what I would want on the downbeat, yo, the
Right.
video will be crazy. Like that's a person that is seeing. That's what I call an artist. They don't
Right.
just see what's in front, directly in front of them. They can see the whole picture. Like, yo, this is no. It ain't just a song. It's a whole package. It has to be like this, so that when it touches the people, it really touches the people.
Right.
For the record, I think DSJ is trash. I think that his vision is trash. I think the watches that he wears are trash. I don't like his Nick hats. I don't like his sneakers. Um,
But he
I don't
wears
like it.
size 7 though, bro.
I don't even like it. I don't even like the glasses that he wears, whether it's stylish shades
Oh, so it
or
must be six and a
reading
half.
glasses. I don't like the guy. I don't like his skin color. I don't like the pants that he prefers to
You sound
wear.
like Bernie Mac, bro. From
Listen, I hate Whoopi Goldberg's lips. I hate the back of Forrest Whitaker's neck.
Oh, you sound like you sound like Bernie Mac there for a second.
Nah, nah. Listen, I appreciate that, but I'll be honest. I've always kind of had the vision. I just never always had the team to help to enact that.
Right. You know what? I think when it comes to artistry, I believe teamwork makes the dream work. Right.
That's a fact.
But what I feel like when it comes to the arts, though, business can destroy the dream. Right. Like the number one rule of business for those that have not been to business school, because people tell me what business is all the time, and then when I ask them if they've been to business school, they like, no, I went to the school of hard knocks, man. I graduated first in my class, street life, and the first thing I said, yeah. And for everybody that takes that approach, either they eventually wind up getting help from somebody that went to business school, or they fail. Right. The thing with artistry, to me, is that the artist should always be in an environment where they're 100% being the artist all the time. Right. And so what that does is it lends itself to the creative process where one can be focused on solely being an artist. And I think the business part of it, when an artist starts sharing brain cells with business, I think that always like for instance, I think the downfall of Kanye West was becoming a business mogul, right? The more he got onto that business side, the less you got the backpack Kanye West, the chipmunk soul Kanye West. Now, did he have an event, a great song or two or three great songs on every album? Yes. But was the album impactful like the early Kanye that wasn't a business person? No, in my mind, right? It's just like Michael Jackson. When Michael Jackson became that business guy in the late 80s, buying people's stuff and all that stuff, I think Mike kind of got away from the essence of being an unfiltered artist, spending time trying new sounds, new concepts, all of that stuff. I think it got to when the artist gets to a point where all they do is show up and sing. I think it takes away from their artistry. Now, some artists, fortunately, for some, that everything is done for them. All they have to do is show up and sing off a sheet of paper. But unfortunately, for others that wants to be a artist, somebody that creates their own art, I think it can be tricky. But advice for people that do that, people that want to get paid for what they love to do. What I would tell them, my advice, before you even get started, before you even go down the road, hire someone trustworthy, accredited, and reputable to be your business manager. Don't hire your cousin, right? Don't hire your cousin because your cousin been watch Rap City for 20 years. No, no. Hire somebody reputable where all you have to focus on is being the artist. And Chuck, I won't lie to you, bro. I think we are being robbed of artistry now.
Hmm.
I think we're being robbed of imagination. Yeah, y'all remember when being different was a thing?
Yes.
I don't want to sound like such and such. You know what I'm saying? I think artists now, if what I would say is get you a reputable, accomplished, trustworthy business manager and let them handle the business of your corporation, because as an artist, you are the corporation, right? And every corporation has a head guy, a CEO. And if you are that person, you can't be the artist at the same time.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And you've seen it over the years where artists have been great artists step into a situation where they handle their own business or don't hire anybody reputable or trustworthy, and it destroys a group, like In Vogue, right? Like In Vogue, where they're so talented. If all four of them had just had a business manager, someone reputable to go over things with a fine tooth comb, not be in a rush, right? Not be in a rush, go over their stuff and protect their assets because they are the asset, right? Right? Not the music that they make too, those are assets, but the artist is the asset. If they had somebody to protect that, I think you get greater art and people can use more imagination and more creativity. But since you can't trust anybody, everybody gets in this vein, well, the record industry is shady, so I'm just gonna do something that sounds just like whatever's on the radio. That way I can get my bread. Yes, yeah. Am I off on that?
Not at all. I think the problem is that the originality that we used to celebrate, um somewhere along the line, the focus shifted from originality and creativity to dollar signs and bottom lines.
Right.
So the music business stopped celebrating the music and became more focused on the business.
That's what they're supposed to
Well,
do, DSJ.
right.
That's what they're
But in
supposed to do,
terms of
though.
but in
Because
terms of that,
you said music business, right?
right,
The number one rule of business is to make money for your shareholders. That's the law, right? That's the law. You can't call yourself a business person if you're not interested in making money for your shareholders. That's before you do anything else. That's when you say music business, right? When you say the word business, that stops everything. It's all about making a profit for your shareholders.
Right.
That's it,
absolutely.
right?
On that note, unfortunately, fellas, I have to bid you guys a farewell. I'm actually just got tasked to come to the studio,
Okay,
Okay.
okay.
so off to work I go. But again, I
When are you gonna let
appreciate you
us hear?
guys.
When you gonna let us? You gonna let us hear something in the next few days?
Matter of fact, I did. I sent you guys something just now. One of the
Okay,
things that I just finished on.
okay,
By all means, the thing. Listen, anything that I've shared recently,
okay.
I haven't registered it with ASCAP. So by all means, knock yourselves out, because I mean, you know, I'm so grateful for you guys allowing me the opportunity to share what I've done and
Okay.
am doing
Yeah, man.
this entire time. This journey has been incredible, but I think that you guys have made it even more memorable for me and
Right.
have helped with my confidence in sharing. So
Yeah,
thank
man.
you guys.
Yeah, man.
You guys don't realize how much you mean to, what I'm saying, me as an artist and as a person. So thank you guys, and truly, please continue to elevate the platform, elevate music, because at the end of the day, that's all we want is for the art to exist
Right.
more
Right.
than, I'm saying, anything else. We just want the art to actually live on
Right.
beyond even us.
Right. Right. Legacy.
Truthfully.
Yeah. Yeah, man. Hey, well, go make a hit, bro.
All right, plan on it. Have a good one.
All right, boss.
All right.
Yeah, everybody. That was DSJ, man. That's our guy, man. That dude is doing amazing, amazing stuff.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, man. Yeah, Chuck, the thing, I didn't want to cut DSJ off, man. I didn't want to sound disrespectful either, but I think there are some things, there are some elements that are left out of conversations. When you hear, for instance, there are two sides to it, right? You know, when they say music business, it's a combination, right? So
Right.
there's music, the art, and then there's business, right? And it's ironic to me that we always hear the artists complain about the business of music,
Hmm.
but you never hear the business of music complaining about the artist.
Um, yeah, they did. They did. They did. That's why
Okay.
they got rid of the artists, the unique ones, the
Okay.
guys that took 2 years, 3 years, 10 years to come back with an album. Yeah, your album was going to be a classic,
Right.
but we had to go through so much just to get it. We had so many sessions. We invested so much money.
Right.
Now, no, we can just grab so and so, and we want a record like this.
Right.
This number one record that is already out. We need a record that sounds just like that,
Okay.
and we're going to give you a bunch of money up front.
Right.
We know you don't know the business,
Right.
so we're just going to take all the money on the back end. You can have this upfront money that you're sure to blow,
Right.
um, and we'll keep me and my family will continue to keep getting residuals off of this song, right?
Right.
I
Right.
think
Like that song, the In the Jungle song. In the jungle, the mind. Boing, boing, boing. You know, a
yeah.
dude did that song in 1930. Disney, I think Disney has said to him, I don't know if it's accurate or not. So I'm just gonna go by what I heard. But I think Disney has made about 200, and it's estimated about 200, close to $300 million off that song. Disney, right? Not
Mhm.
to mention the people that made money off the song before Disney did, right?
Right.
The guy that did the song didn't make a dime. His family got a check, a one-time check for $200,000.
Yeah, that's how it goes, man.
Yeah,
That's
that's
that's how it goes.
yeah,
Because in business, you could come in with a great idea, right?
right, right,
But you don't have the money to pull this idea off.
right,
But the person that you're pitching to absolutely can
right,
can pay for this tenfold over.
right,
And they come to you, well, we're going to offer you 800,000,
right,
which
right,
seems like a lot of money. But then in the end, they make $2 or $3 billion off of the idea yearly.
right. Yeah.
Is that fair? No.
Well, I disagree some. I think it's fair if you agree to the terms.
Okay. Okay. Yeah.
If you agree to the terms, I think it's fair. Now, is it fair that they make all that money and you get less than a percentage of it? No. No, I think it's not fair in morality court, but in
Okay. Yeah.
legal court, it's absolutely
It,
fair.
you're absolutely right, and that's the thing. I I personally feel that if you're going to get into the music business, then you should have an idea of how business is run.
Right.
Um, I'm not saying you have to go to Harvard, but go to your local community college, go to the Ride,
Yep.
go to Phoenix Online,
Yep.
take a business class, take a
Yep.
business course, get a business certificate or associates or something,
Associates at a minimum, an associate. Yeah.
so that you could understand what you're getting into, what these contracts mean, what this language is, because it's a totally different language. That's why you
Yep.
got to hire people that speak that language, that
Right.
went to school for 8 years learning this language, that can
Right.
read these contracts and be like, nah, you see how they worded this? in perpetuity. You know what that means?
Right, right,
We can't sign this. You
right.
know, um, I think it's important because a lot of artists who are just artists that don't understand the business
Right.
um, get done in legally because they don't know how to read these contracts and they don't hire the right people to read these contracts.
And they're not motivated to read them, bro.
No, see, a lot of these guys went to school together. The guy that
Yeah.
drew up the contract and the guy who's advising you to sign the contract, they play golf together.
Yes.
Hey man, get your guy to sign. You know, we'll take care of you on the back end. We'll write it up as a business dinner. Blah blah
Right.
blah. And and there you go, signing your livelihood away.
Right.
Um,
You know
I,
what an example is?
go
Exact
ahead.
not to get, but example is man, get your guy DMX to sign. Get your guy DMX to sign, and then if he signs, here's a sweetener. If he signs, we'll do albums for those other guys we know are not quality guys. We'll give Drag On a shot, the
Right.
hookup. You know what I'm saying? And those type of I think education is the key. But I would say this though, as someone who's not an artist,
Hmm.
somebody who's business, you can't tell me that you can't afford a lawyer when I see a rented Lamborghini in your video.
Oh, facts. Yes, sir.
See, you could have paid for the rent for that Lamborghini because you got to pay. Not only do you have to rent the Lamborghini,
Got to put it in
but you
deposit.
also have to pay for the insurance for
Hmm.
that day or that time that you have it.
Yep.
And so you're talking about just for the car to set there, you're talking about like $9,000. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? Because you're
Yeah.
not buying the car now. You're not buying it, right? But just to rent it. So you're telling the Lamborghini place to transport it there, set it, and insure it. So you're gonna pay $9,000 just so that you can be seen. Man, that's about 3 months with an attorney.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Some things, and I was at a club in New York, right, a long time ago,
Hmm.
right. As a matter of fact, me and my cousin Quentin, and we bumped into a guy. I almost got into whatever with a model, a dude named Tyson something, right.
Uh huh.
We go inside, we see artists inside standing up, pouring out champagne on the floor. And the champagne back then was like $175 a bottle. And they were doing this all night. And people are coming and mopping and got the little yellow things out. You know what I'm saying? And they all rude. They ordering stuff. They ordering like these big platters of food, like $200 worth of food. And while these prices don't sound insane, at the end of the night, your bill might be $1,400 just off of the drinks and the food, right? And you do this constantly, and then you blame the record label for not paying you, right? With this, if I'm an artist, the first thing I'm doing, because I know all in advance means is they're gonna advance me the money, the potential money based off potential record sales.
Right.
And if I don't reach this, I'm gonna owe them.
Right.
Right. So they're gonna give me $1 million cash money right? Didn't take out no taxes. I got to pay the tax myself, right? I look at one day, I got $8 in my account. The next day, I have $1 million, $1,008,008, and I'm 17. The thinking there should be set this money up in a trust that I can get access to on a monthly basis, right? Have the most reputable accountant in the country. I'll go pay their fees for them to handle my accounting because it's worth it. It's not worth it in the short term. It's worth it in the long term, though. Right? Go get an entertainment attorney, right? And instead of having a road manager that comes from where you come from, right? Go get a third party neutral road manager to help you navigate your way. And you pay their set, and the accounting firm pays your set. Now, all of this sounds like cornball stuff, right? Because if you do this way, you can't be on Instagram with a money phone, right? And everybody knows the money phone is more important than being secure for the rest of your life.
You're speaking. You're absolutely speaking the truth, and it's coming from your business background, right? Most of these people, most of these artists don't have that type of information. Setting up a trust. Most of them are coming from situations where the EBT card is the only plastic in their pocket.
Right.
You
That
know,
works. That works.
that works.
Yeah.
Yeah, they got a Visa, but they got to put money on it. They got to go to the
Right.
check cashing place to put money on it, right?
Right. Right.
So they don't know that what you're saying is absolutely how I feel. Taking a look at a guy like Jay-Z, part of me feels like Jay-Z was more than a corner boy. Corner boy is only worried about the re-up.
Right.
They go to the club, they shoot dice, lose thousands of dollars. Now they're back out there 24/7 in the cold, rain, sleet, or snow, selling, whatever they're selling.
Right.
But the guy that has that business mind that sees the bigger picture, nah, I'm not spending my money on this. I'm about to buy this laundromat.
Right.
I'm about to invest in this pool hall.
Right.
Put my money elsewhere because I know what we're doing right now is temporary. If
Right.
if you're into music for the lick, then it's not temporary. I mean, it's not a forever thing. Like
Right.
you're not making this a career. This is just I want to get rich quick
Right.
and then bow out.
Right.
Um, you should be setting yourself up that way.
Right.
But most of these artists have that corner boy mentality where man, I'm gonna have on the freshest Jordans, freshest pair of jeans. I'm gonna buy this car. I'm gonna put thousands of dollars into this car. Um, I'm gonna
Right.
buy all of this jewelry. I'm gonna look like $1 million.
Right.
But at the end of the day, after that 4 year run, 5 years run, it's over.
Right.
If you're a corner boy, yeah, you're going to jail.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
You're going to jail. And if
Right.
you're a corner boy rapper or singer or artist, then yeah, you had a good 5 year run. You had two or three, hit records. But now it's over because we've moved on to the next. You gave us hits, but you never gave us anything to hold on to.
Right.
It goes back to what you were saying earlier. Like, oh yeah, I remember that song. Versus hearing a song and immediately going back to when you heard that song or when that song had an impact on your life. So
Right.
you what Uncle Freezy was dropping earlier, you know, that's key game to anybody, to any artist that's out there listening. When you get money, when you get money, you got to invest in yourself. If you can buy Jordans, you can put money aside to have a lawyer.
Right.
You don't have to. You can take your time to pick a lawyer. Find You can meet with as many people as possible to find the one that is going to look out for your best interests.
Right.
Hiring. You want to give your people. You want to give your people an opportunity, right? I like what LeBron James did. You my peoples. I'm gonna pay for you to go to school.
Yep. Yep.
And he's employed all of those people within his organization, and then they have their own entities themselves. It's like, okay, you don't want to hire your cousin who don't have any experience, who was watching Rap City for 14 years, and he think
Right.
he know.
Right.
But be like, all right, cuz you want to do this? All right, I'm gonna send you to tech,
Right. Right.
and you take these
And
classes.
if you don't graduate, you're not getting this job.
No, no way. Like, cuz if I'm gonna pay 50,000 or 75,000 for someone to be around me, then that person has to be useful.
Yep. Yep. Yep.
Like that person has to do something. Like, listen, man, everything on the farm has a purpose.
Yeah.
Everything on the farm has a purpose. Like
Yep.
that dog there for a reason.
Yep. Them cats, they're there for a reason.
They're there for a reason.
Yep.
They ain't just mouths to feed. You know what I
Right.
mean? And so, yeah, make your cousin. You go to school. Oh, y'all want to be security? Okay. Well, why don't y'all take these courses and
Yep.
become certified security?
Certified security. Yep.
You know what I
Yep.
mean?
Y'all want to be security? What we'll do is I'm gonna create a business, and we're gonna create a firm.
Mm-hmm.
First, y'all are gonna go to school, and then this model is not only gonna work for me and my security, but we're gonna make additional money by being security for other artists.
Facts. There you go,
You,
Unc.
you know what I'm saying? So now you have businesses that you fall back on that make money, that brings in money for themselves. And your homeboy that you sent to school, right? He can be the CEO of that business, right?
Right.
Make decisions, things of that sort, and employ the right people, do all the background stuff, all of that, right? And then not on, so then you can go from just protecting local people. Now you're doing security for dignitaries, right?
Right.
Things of that sort. Now you know what I'm saying, you uplifting your people through work. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Yeah, that's one of the things I think people forget about. It's in the Bible, man. You know what I'm saying? That one of the first thing God did to Adam is put him to work.
Yes. They need
You know what I'm
that.
saying? So
Yeah.
it's it's one of those things. Everything that you do, like I think the approach for artists should be, remember, they are a walking corporation,
Yes.
and everything that they do should be accounted for, right? Because Chuck, think about it. Even if $10 million, right? But we have an entourage of, say we bring the Lawrence Tears entourage, right? So it's like 28 people, right?
Right.
Bro, so it's 28. So it's 28 people. Everybody feel like they gotta stay. Nobody wants to stay in a cheap room. Everybody gonna want their own room. Everybody feel like they're gonna need to be in a suite. Everybody want to eat lobster tails. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Everybody want to drink mimosas in the morning. You know what I'm saying? So it's one of them things is after a while, you keep busting off that $250,000 a month, bro. All it takes is what 40 months, and that money is gone.
Finito.
40 months, all that money is $10 million is gone down the drain. But you have a heck of a story to tell, though.
Right. But don't those stories feel better when it has a happy ending?
Yeah, yeah,
So yeah, being on top of now, don't get me wrong. You don't have to do any of those things that Unc has said that I've mentioned. If you're not wanting to be a part of the music business and you're just putting your art out there, then that's fine too. Um, but just understand if you the moment you feel like you want to make a dollar off it, you're in the business.
right,
It's no longer just for fun. It's the business. So now you have to be cognizant of that.
right.
Because when I hear some of these sob stories, especially those of the last 20 years, I'm like, yo, did y'all not learn from history? Why,
Right.
why is nobody saying, yo, I'm not going to go with this lawyer that the label is providing me.
Right.
I'm gonna take some money and I'm gonna go find my own lawyer
Right.
to look over this contract. Um,
Right.
you can't be desperate.
No, you can't be desperate.
They've been doing it. They've been doing this for years.
Yeah.
They smelled you before you got out of the limo. Oh,
Right.
you got one. Oh yeah.
Right.
Break out the champagne. All right, where the girls at? Here we go.
Right.
What's
Right.
going on, MC such and such? Yeah, look at this. How we doing it? Yeah, pour up the and
Right.
and now uh, you've locked into a situation where you now have to produce
Yep.
because it's about, like you said, shareholders want to get paid.
Yes. Because the artists they don't understand that the money has to come from somewhere,
Right.
right? So say for instance, Chuck and I have are the financiers for or the investors of say a certain label, right? Let's just call it Def Jam, just for the sake, just making up a name, right?
Right.
And Def Jam has a rotating monthly budget of about $5 million, right? To sign a new artist, it costs $1 million, right? Def Jam's not going to take $1 million out of that $5 million that they have in their monthly budget to give to an artist because Def Jam has staff. They have all the stuff they have to do. That's their monthly budget, right? So what they'll do is they go to investors and say, hey, let's say we found a guy, you know, Uncle Freezy Chuck, if you give me $1 million to give to this artist, we guarantee you that the both of y'all will make $4 million a piece back. So in theory, Chuck and I invest 500,000 and we make 4 million back. Well, if we're making 4 million back, how much you think the artist is gonna make? Little, very little from the record company, right? Because the record company, once they add a new artist, they have to add to their monthly budget that was $5 million. So now their monthly budget is about $5.5 million, right? Because they gave the artist this money for the artist to do certain stuff, but then the record label is also paying for studio time, promotion, A&R, staffing, maybe even distribution. But all the artist sees is the $1 million. And then once that $1 million is gone, right? The artist looks at the record company for more money, right? But in fairness to the record company, we gave the money to you. We gave you the money and the tools to be successful. With this $1 million, all we asked was for you to make more than $1 million so that we can give the $1 million back to the investor that we paid. And then we can split the overage. But if you don't make that $1 million back, now you're in debt to the record company. And they're not going to let you out of the contract. They're going to keep your name because you signed your name over to the record company. You can't perform as LL Cool J because we have this thing called a lien on your name where you can't perform under that name because you are contractually obligated to perform for us because you agreed to these terms.
Yep. Ask Prince. Remember when he became the symbol?
Yeah.
So yeah, you have to. Uncle's preaching. Go ahead, Unc, finish.
Yeah, man. I think we forget that these companies have a business model. Investors put somebody that's gonna execute the business model. So all the investors, stakeholders, right, which includes the artist, right, because all the stakeholders have something at stake, right, and then there are the shareholders, right, the people that have invested and own the company. Basically, everybody profits from the artist being successful. Right, you don't enter into a contract with the artist hoping he'll fail. That's why they call it an investment, because you want it to be successful.
Right.
But if you're the artist and you look at the record company as an adversary, that might be the mistake from day one. What the individuals as an artist, what you should look at the record label as a business partner. Both sides get what they want out of the relationship, or you don't enter into it.
Right.
And so, but if you're the artist and you don't know these things, if you're just somebody that can sing, or if you're just somebody that can rap, then you enter in these things blind, and then you get what the record company feels like they should give you. But the record company is, and people don't know this up front. You don't know these things unless you're independent or on a lower scale. But the record company is what ensures the venues pay the record company so they can distribute to the artist, right? The record company is in charge of the promotion that gets you into audiences that have never heard of you on radio stations in Kansas City and Tupelo, Mississippi, and Florence, South Carolina, Charleston, South Carolina, Augusta, Georgia, Jacksonville, Florida. These places would have never heard your voice without the record company. At least not on that scale anyway. And so if you're an artist, you have to consider the record company as your business partner. And what they give you from the investors is an investment. And so when you take that money and take it on as salary, that's mistake number one. You get $1 million check, first thing you do is buy your mama a house. And you should be like, Mom, hey, I got you, right? But this is the company's budget that I have, right? When I pay myself, I'll take care of certain stuff, but I can't take the company's budget and pay for your stuff. I know we're struggling, but let me get to a bigger place I can't take the company's money and spend it on your house, even though you need one. Right? If I'm him, I'm like, you know what? Listen, how about we do this? How about I hire you to do something? I'll send you back to school for you to do such and such. And if your mom is like, who you think you talking to? I birthed you and raised you and such and such and such. And now that you got money, you such and such. You're like, Mom, listen, clearly you don't know anything about business. That's the exact reason why I'm sending you back to school. Right? Because if I blow this money, we don't make this money back. Are you going to help me pay this money back to the record company? No. I know that sounds wild, OD too, Chuck, but business,
but that's the truth.
the bottom line with business, bro, you gotta as soon as you get to business school, first thing you learn, business is about making money for your shareholders and stakeholders. That's rule number one. When
Right.
people speak to anything outside of that, they speak into a detriment.
Right. They don't know business.
Right.
Again, you don't have to. You have to invest in yourself. You have to invest in yourself. Even as a singer, right? A lot of singers get better as the albums progress. Why? Because a lot of them get vocal coaches.
Yeah. Yeah.
They get vocal coaching. And in some instances, you could tell, like, oh wow, they sound a lot stronger.
Right.
Like, what's going on? And then you find out they've hired one of the best vocal coaches in the country because they're investing in themselves. This is my instrument, my voice. So I have to take care of it. And if you're willing, just no different than LeBron James.
Right.
LeBron James got trainers on top of trainers. He got
And a personal chef. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
He's investing in his body and he's doing things that we haven't seen. A guy almost 40 still averaging 20-something points a game, 8-something rebounds.
Right.
Still the top dog on his team. Because he invested in himself. He invested in his upkeep, right? You have to look at your musical talent the same way. If I rap, I have to protect. You know what? I have to be rapping 80% of the time.
Yeah.
So I can't focus on how are we going to do this rollout? Who am I meeting? How I got to set those meetings up? I got to take those. No, you need someone that's going to do those things so that you can focus in on your craft. The people that are constantly in the studio, you say to yourself, like, yo, how in the world did they come up with that?
Right.
Because they're there.
Right.
You don't just get automatically wake up tomorrow being the best shooter in the league.
Right.
You got to put in that time. You got to be in that gym. So, Unc makes a great point. You think something will lack if you wear too many hats.
Yeah.
Something will definitely lack, and that's when you you must become a leader in that situation and start delegating.
Right.
Like, okay, those people that own multiple restaurants, they own a Checkers and a Cookout and a whatever else.
Right.
They have someone called general manager.
Yep.
That goes from spot to spot, making sure everything is okay.
They are managing generally. Yep.
Yeah.
That's their job. Right.
That's their job. That's what they get paid for.
Yeah.
And now I don't have to go in and check in on this business every day. Now I can, but I have someone that is close to the ground that can delegate themselves and solve problems that I don't have to come in to solve. I don't have to stop
Right.
what I'm doing to solve this problem. You know,
Right.
um, main point that I'm just trying to that I want to make sure that everyone understands. It is a business, like Unc said. It is a
Yeah.
business.
It's a business. It's a
Um,
business.
and those deals are only loans, high
Yeah.
interest loans.
Yep. 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 It's a part of it, man. It's a part of it, man. You know, it's one of them deals where, any type of business venture that you step into, you have to understand it's about businesses are about making money. Period.
Period.
Right. That's just number one rule. So Chuck Benny is in here whining, bro. I think I'm gonna have to either go do belly rubs with the wire brush or take him outside.
Okay. Yes, sir.
So
Yeah.
but man, it was good rocking with you, bro.
Absolutely. Definitely great rocking with you too. I saw the opportunity. I had some time, so I was like, let me get on. This is
Yeah, man.
a conversation I want to be a part of with a guy who I want to have this conversation with, man.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. I appreciate that. Everybody, thank y'all for watching. I'm gonna do a show this week, everybody, on reparations and what reparations would mean to this country. So stay tuned for that. I think we'll probably do that maybe Wednesday or Thursday ish. I need to collect more data, but that'll definitely be coming your way. It's definitely gonna be insightful and educational. So for everybody
Yep.
watching, thank y'all for watching. Peace, everybody.
Peace.